All right. So the conversion was completed, and she went into commission, and that portion of it, 6 years history, then off to the reserve fleet. A little story in the meantime, talk about being ready. In the middle of my work, when it came the announcement to the reserve that we were going to send Coast Guard patrol boats to Operation Market Time in Vietnam. And I got a phone call to go to headquarters. I was going to talk about it on the phone. But then I was ordered to stop what I was doing for security purposes and immediately start doing the design work to make it a support vessel for the patrol boats. We did not end up going largely because I believe the Navy felt that it was more suitable to have a Navy vessel heading up Operation Market Time as the command vessel than a Coast Guard vessel. And so they provided the Kriska, and I was told after a couple of weeks of feverishly working to convert it to taking care of the boats that we thought would be shot up, et cetera, et cetera. And I was told, forget it, it never happened, so you're not going to Vietnam. So I whispered to my sweetie, I said, you're not going to get rid of me that soon. No? And the last, Semper Paratus. She was in the James River Fleet, and the Coast Guard was gearing up to do law enforcement work out of the Bahamas. And there was conception again of, well, gee, Courier's sitting there. She's all outfitted for accommodating 300 people with all the equipment on board. Maybe a little bit of improved communications gear was needed, but otherwise she was ready to go. And we came very close to getting that ship out of the reserve fleet to go to the Bahamas to serve our country in that manner. So as the whole history of the ship, there were people involved to make it, she was ready to serve our country. Now, as you know, the ship doesn't do that by itself, because the real story is about the people who made all of that happen. You made the Voice of America transmitting vessel happen. You kept it going. I'm sure that you would compete with one another and compare what was your percentage on air time? Did you talk about that? Okay. There was things, just like Moran duty. Everybody compared notes, et cetera, et cetera. You did better than the last bunch because you kept that thing up. No matter what had to be done, you did what was necessary, so she was actually right there transmitting all of the time. 100% was the goal. And you didn't talk about it much when you didn't make it. But anyway, you made the people, you're the people that made it happen. It was that common experience, which I'm sure initially some people probably thought, oh, a little hardship. We're going to go to Greece, away from home, away from, in a place we've never been before, the hardships and all. But I gather from the comments that people have made, you discovered that over there, life was pretty good. And quite a few of you guys brought back ladies that you hadn't known before. And Maria, thank you. So, may the story live. You've made it. May the story live. Semper Paratus. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Admiral Merlin. At this point, I'd like to introduce you to Captain John T. Andrews, U.S. Coast Guard retired. John Andrews has a history with both forms of the Courier. As a young boat ensign and in Greece, and later as the XO of the training ship.
Picking up on Admiral Merlin's theme of service and always ready and support, I'm going to tell you a short story about a day and a night in 1958 when the Navy fleet, you see pictures of the destroyers and the cruisers and the carriers and the destroyers in Rhodes, which was a very popular Liberty port. One day, a grayish day, The yardarm blinkers were going like crazy. You all know a yardarm blinker? It's the yardarm on the mast of the ship, and there are lights at the end of them. And the blinker is keyed by a Morse code key, much faster than our guys could read blinker blinker. I had a duty that day, and Liberty was granted, people went ashore, the broadcast was underway, and I was sitting in the wardroom, and the messenger knocked on the door, and he said, Mr. Andrews, there's a Navy officer here to see you. And I went to see him, and it was JG, I think I was an ensign for sure, so he was senior. And he said, we have to leave. Can we leave our vehicles and our boats, and I don't know what else, because we're going to Lebanon. And they were on their way to go ashore, to take the Marines ashore in Lebanon in 1951. I like that story because we were there, we were ready to respond. We didn't have to go to Lebanon, thank you, but we could help the Navy do their job. And that is one of the things that has kept me very content with my Coast Guard career, very inspired with my Coast Guard career. We are there to serve as the federal maritime agency, State Department, Navy, anybody else. So this is my second reunion. I'm very glad to be here. I'm very proud to be one of them.